Hello guys, this is Global Sports Update. My name is Tunde Koiki. Not too much to talk about today, but three main topics that you really should stay tuned and find out what's going on. Stephen Keshi, after all the talk about Keshi must go, Keshi is finally out. Samson Siasia, he's back in as what? And also the continuous hounding of Raheem Sterling by the British press. These are topics that we're really going to break down for you today on Global Sports Update. First off, Stephen Keshi has been relieved of his job as the coach of the Super Eagles. One thing you should understand that Keshi didn't really have a contract. His contract ended after the World Cup, so he's been working on a rolling or an interim contract as an interim coach. Now that he's left, so many issues are being raised. How and why did Stephen Keshi fail? How and why did he get to a point where he got into the stadium and like 60,000 fans were yelling, Keshi must go, Keshi must go? If you ask my honest opinion, I think Keshi stopped trying. I think there was no more hunger in his team. I think his team was not really ready to fight anymore. Remember there was a time when he was bringing in home-based players, the likes of Gabriel Rubin, who had even taken over the place and position of the like of John Mikel Obi, that Nigerians didn't even want John Mikel Obi anymore. John Mikel Obi had to actually beg to get his place back in the national team. He was bringing in players from the Nigerian Premier League who were giving, the established Europeans a fight. When he took like 4 or 5 of them to the African Cup of Nations in 2013, they made a major impact in getting us that trophy. Godfrey Babona in defense, Sunday Mba also, who got the winning goal in the final as well. So I think Keshi stopped trying. I think he stopped injecting new blood into the team. I think there was no more hunger in that team. There wasn't much competition. And that was why we continue seeing all those poor results. Despite the fact that they beat Sudan 3-1, that made it only their second win in 12 games. And that is not the kind of statistic you would expect from the champions of Africa. So much has been said about, whether Keshi was, whether he was on good terms with some of the players, whether his tactics were faulty, whether, he was the right man for the job. But now Keshi is gone. And who did the Nigerian Football Association, in their wisdom, replace him with? Well, they replaced him with no other than Amadou Shaibu. This is a man who had coached the Nigerian national team before on 4 different occasions. This is his 5th time coaching the Super Eagles. He actually qualified Nigeria for 2 World Cups, but he was given the axe on 2 occasions. This is a man who has, saved Nigeria qualification before. Remember, in 2010, we were almost in danger of not qualifying for the 2010 World Cup, but he managed to pull the chestnut out of the fire after the Super Eagles had, after the NFA had sacked Pomfrey Joe. So they feel that he's the man who can do a rescue job, who can get a win in the last 2 games and possibly see Nigeria qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. But there's a danger in that kind of permutation. Nigeria needs to win those 2 games. Congo and South Africa need just a point from those 2 games, and they're through. So it's actually easier to draw than it is to win. So who is in the driving seat? Who can actually make it to the Nations Cup? If you ask my honest opinion, I think Congo and South Africa are ahead of Nigeria in that order. All they need to do is play for 2 consecutive draws, and they're the Africa Cup of Nations. It's going to be, Amadou Shaibu is going to be assisted by Salisu Abubakar, one of the most talented coaches in the Nigerian Premier League, and also Benga Gubota, another particularly talented coach, and the return of a certain, Aloy Agu, former Nigerian national team goalkeeper. These are the men who will be charged with getting Nigeria 6 points from their last 2 games in order to see us qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. If you ask me, it's a big task. We might get in as the 3rd best, qualifier, which is not guaranteed when you consider the fact that the likes of Egypt are already on 7 points. Nigeria is currently on 4. There's other countries too on 6 points. Nigeria needs to hope that those other teams don't win in order for them to get 10 points. And it's a really messy situation that we found ourselves. But if you ask me, I think we should have stuck with Keshi. I think Keshi has a lot to prove. I mean, obviously his legacy is not in doubt. He's the only Nigerian to have won the Africa Cup of Nations both as a player and as a coach. I mean, he did it at his first time of trying. So his legacy is not in doubt. And I think he would have really wanted, to qualify Nigeria for the Africa Cup of Nations so that he won't go down in history as the man who qualified Nigeria, who won the Nations Cup for Nigeria and subsequently failed to qualify for the subsequent edition. So he had a point to prove, and I think he was getting there. Even if he did qualify us, he would have gladly left. If Nigeria didn't want it anymore, he would have gladly left, but he would have made his mark. I think the way the team was playing, whether they won or they lost, they could have got, they could have made it 10 points from the last 2 games. But the question is, when you bring in an Amadou Shaibu, that's a short-term reaction. when you sack a Stephen Keshi, that's a knee-jerk reaction. So what are we doing now? The kind of coach that they want, from what the Nigeria Football Association are saying, they want a new coach, a white coach, a foreign coach who will tinker, the Super Eagles. All I can say is if you're getting someone, get someone who knows his job. Don't bring us any kind of journeyman like Lars Lagerbäck, who we paid a filthy fortune and did nothing. Okay, so if you're getting us a coach, get us someone who knows what he's doing and who has a long-term vision for Nigerian football. Okay, next up, we're talking about is Samson Siasia. He's back, but back as what? No, not back as Super Eagles coach, but he's back as the coach of the national under-23 team, the Dream Team, one of the posts where he made his name. Remember, he got us a silver medal at the 2008 Olympic Games in China. Nigeria lost the final of the gold medal football match, men's gold medal football match against Argentina, thanks to a goal by a certain Angel Di Maria, who is currently at Manchester United. So the question is, why Siasia? Then after he left the Super Eagles job, why didn't he take up any more coaching jobs? Is he still the coach that we think he is? But now he's back, he can rebuild his reputation that was shattered before the 2012 Africa Cup of Nations. And who says that in due course he might not get back to being Super Eagles coach again? A lot of people still believe in Samson Siasia. His teams played explosive football, high-octane attacking football, entertaining football. They were a bit naive at the back, yes, and they were a bit naive in keeping scorelines to find out whether they had qualified for competitions or not. But the truth is, his teams played excellent, entertaining, attacking football. And if he has, managed to husband his temper, his man management skills, and also managed to keep a lid on what's going on in his defense, maybe who says that we might not see Samson Siasia take over from the incoming white coach as the new Super Eagles coach sometime in the future. Okay, finally today, guys, we're talking about Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling has been receiving a lot of flack from the British press because he did what a normal human being would do. He said he was tired. It is not a crime to be tired. Right now, I'm tired, but I'm still talking to you. But Raheem Sterling told Roy Hodgson, coach of the English national team, that he wasn't in the right frame of mind to play away against Estonia, that he was tired. And all of a sudden, the British press are screaming, saying absolute nonsense. I don't understand why it is so hard for them to understand that a man who is 19 years old, who plays for club and country on a regular basis, he plays in the Champions League, he plays in the Carling Cup, he plays in the league, he plays for England as well. He plays almost for four different competitions for 2 different teams. He has the right to be tired. He's not a goalkeeper. If a goalkeeper told you he was tired, you'd be wondering, what? Goalkeepers can stand for maybe 20 minutes and not have to make a save. Someone like Raheem Sterling is constantly running, constantly dribbling, constantly attacking, constantly being fouled. Come on, guys. I mean, there has to be some kind of wear and tear, not only on the body, but also on the mind. So if he's mentally and physically tired, how is that a problem? And yet the British press has been saying so much rubbish. How can a 19-year-old be tired? If I was your age, I want to play every game. That's absolute rubbish. The boy is tired. Try and understand. And now they're making it some kind of club country rule, and maybe it's Liverpool that don't want him to play so that he can play for them. That's absolute rubbish. If England was the team that they were, they should have like a crowd of players willing to take over Raheem Sterling's role. Why must you use the young man to death? Why do you want to burn him out at a tender age of 19? Yes, we know he's young. Yes, we know he's good. But there's something called player management. You don't use your best player too often. And you're playing Estonia, for God's sake. You don't need it, Raheem Sterling. You could play Estonia, which are probably on that 21 national team, and still get a result. So why do you want to keep Raheem Sterling? So the British press really need to chill. Get off his back. I mean, just yesterday he drove into training and they said, oh, you're so well, you're no longer tired, you're driving yourself to training. It's absolute rubbish. Leave the guy alone, let him recuperate so that he can give his best both for Liverpool and for the English national team. My name is Tunde Koiki. This has been Global Sports Update. And don't forget to subscribe and send me your comments about everything that we've said so far.